Franklin here at World Series of Fighting 23 here with Sefo. Ray, you always have a smile on your face. It's ear to ear. I always tell people that it's because you know something that everybody else doesn't, and it's how great this promotion is.
Right.
On a night like tonight, just take me through your emotions.
I expected a really great night. I mean, it was a great fight card. From the get-go, it was exciting. To the end, it was exciting. And I said in one of the interviews with Chen I did, that these two guys are not only warriors, I mean, they're going to come out and basically go to round 4. They're not going to start from round 1. They're going to go to round 4, and that's exactly what happened. I said to both of them in the cage, I said, guys, and I also, obviously, Palomino's upset that, the fight got stopped. But, like I said, to both of them, listen, these are kind of fights that, when you're my age, you're going to look back and go, these are the type of fights that people talk about. I mean, to this day, people still talk about Mark Hunter and I's war. I mean, these guys did it twice, So, I mean, it's just, no, I couldn't be any happier about the way things turned out for the guys. I mean, everybody, lived up to the hype. And everybody that fought tonight was amazing. David Branch, again, another, amazing story. A guy that, like he said, he grew up from the ghetto, and look where he's at. He's a 2-time world champion. And so it's really, a memorable night and an amazing night, and I couldn't be any happier.
It is, and I want to start with Justin. He, putting him in historical perspective, you and I talked the other day, I said, I view these two guys as, for your promotion, it's your Gotti Award.
Right.
Palomino
Absolutely.
and Gaethje are your Gotti Award, and they lived up to it tonight. 5 best rounds probably in the history of World Series of Fighting, these
Absolutely.
two.
Oh, without a doubt.
So next, for Justin Gaethje, Brian Foster called his name. I interviewed him out earlier.
Right.
Foster looked fantastic. What are your thoughts on a fight like that? What do you see next for Justin Gaethje?
Well, obviously there's a tournament in November, and when that's the winner of that event gets the #1 contender spot. Now, there's also Ozzy Gagulagov that's also, I think he's pretty much ready for a title shot as well. Now, Foster, the way he looked tonight, he looked impressive, looked amazing, and so he racks up a couple more of those. He's right in the mix of that title shot contender.
I want to touch back on with David Branch, and you were talking about him. Let's talk about him historically. I mean, this puts him in very select company.
Right.
Off the top of my head, it's him and Dan Henderson, the only two guys I know of that held 85 and 205 at the same time.
That's right.
You said that you weren't bullish on him defending both of those belts, but I mean, you hold the belt, you hold the cards. That's how it works. Have you changed your thoughts on that? What do you see with David?
Listen,
let's first talk about history, and then we'll talk about moving
forward.
Well,
I mean, again, his history, like we were saying earlier, I mean, he's a guy that ended up in the wrong side of the road and ended up in jail. While he was in there, he says, says to himself, this is not where I want my life to go. Comes out of there, he starts training, becomes a black belt in jiu-jitsu under Renzo Gracie, and just his journey just continued to expand from there. I mean, he's a 2-time world champion. I mean, you can't ask for a better turnaround, should I say, because when people do that, it's an inspirational story. Because there's a lot of people that end up on the wrong side of the fence and don't know how to come back. And he's a true inspiration in the way that, like he said tonight, he grew up in the gutter, and look where he's at today. He's fighting on NBC Sports, in front of millions of people. People that tuned in from around the world. I mean, it's just an amazing, inspirational story. So, my hat off to David Branch. In terms of him holding both titles, listen, if he can do it, I have no problem with that. But I just think it would be so hard for somebody to hold both titles in 2 different weight divisions and kind of fight back to back like that. Now again, like I said, if he can do it, that's entirely. Listen, right after the fight, he says to me, he's like, "Hey, boss, whatever you want, I'll do." I'm like, "Listen, the choice is yours, right?" And so I'm really, I would really give it to David Branch and say, "Listen, if you can do this, you're the one that's got to get in and do." I mean, not only the hard work in the gym, but he's also got to step in that cage and complete it. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, if he can do it, I have no problem with it.
And something that I think a lot of people don't know about David Branch is he sees the world in 360. I mean, he knows what's going on. He's a very bright guy. He knows what he's going into. He kind of can understand. He's thought about this well before he wore that belt. So I think that he's kind of got an idea about it. So, and what it does for your promotion is it gives you something unique. Now you have a guy defending both belts. I want to talk to you about something else that's unique. You have a fighter tonight in Phoenix Jones who looked good.
Right.
Had some trouble early, but looked good. Let me get your thoughts first on Phoenix's performance tonight, and also on the prospects of him fighting his brother. I spoke with both of them tonight, and they seemed open to it. How do you feel about it?
Listen, my brother and I, my younger brother Ronnie and I both fought for K1, and he qualified into winning when he won K1 New Zealand. Like I told K1 back then, there's not enough, and there's no amount of money that they could pay me to fight my brother. And so, you know, that's a decision they both have to come to terms with. Because it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing when that bell rings and it's your brother across the cage. You know what I mean? So it's just an emotional hump that I don't think, me personally, I could never, you know, touch gloves in front of millions of people and fight my younger brother. So I can't, you know, and I can't speak for them. They can speak for themselves. Again, at the end of the day, it's their choice. And that's the kind of emotions that they're going to have to deal with. You know what I mean? And if that does come to that. But it's their choice at the end of the day.
So my question is, and I appreciate that you do a lot of things from the perspective of a fighter because you've been there.
Right.
As a promoter, how does that fight make you feel? Draws a lot of eyes. I mean, I told them it's warrior.
Listen,
it's basically
that's exactly right. Listen, if they both agree to it, listen, we'll make it happen.
Right.
But it's not me that's got to deal with the emotional side of that fight. It's them. And if they can deal with that, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So, and they're both in that limelight where they both want that victory, and they both want that limelight, and they both want to be able to, you know, be fighting in front of millions of people. And if it comes to that, that's exactly what's going to happen, I guess.
Finally, let's just wrap up. What has you excited about the promotion moving forward? What's next?
You know, it's everything that's from our fighters, the way they come to the cage and the way they just let everything, leave everything in there. Our production, our team in the office, you know, it's just, tonight it's just the final product of everything that goes on behind the scenes. And so I couldn't be any happier with the team that we have. We've got amazing people, Carlos Silva, who's our new CEO, Ali Abdulaziz, who's our, you know, matchmaker vice president. I mean, you know, to everybody else that's part of the whole team. And it's really humbling when you know that everything is run right, it's all done with honesty and perfection. And so you come out and you put on the best product you can put on.
Ray, a gentleman as always, smiling for good
Thank
reason
you.
tonight here in Phoenix. Can I get you to commit to come back to Phoenix? It's been so good to you.
Absolutely, it has been amazing. So, you know, right here, we are kind of going to come back to Phoenix November. And now, we haven't finalized where yet, but I'm 100% sure that we're coming back to Phoenix in November for the tournament.
Awesome. Well, I wish you continued success.
Thank you,
Keep
sir.
that smile, and we'll
appreciate
keep putting on good fights.
Thank you.
It's Ray Sefo, ladies and gentlemen. John Franklin here at World Series of Fighting.